can imagine a string attached right to the back of your head, kind of gently pulling you upright. And if you haven't done so, just begin to lower your gaze. Maybe even fully close your eyes. And give yourself permission to be here fully. All the parts of yourself, even the parts you sometimes don't like to bring with you. The darker parts, the messy parts. Allow yourself to take up space. Begin to feel the weight of your body on your mat. And start to root down through your seat bones. Anchoring yourself here in this sacred space. Beginning to notice your physical being. Perhaps scanning your body. Noticing each part of yourself and how it feels in this moment. No need to judge. No need to place labels. Although we often go to places of tension and noticing stress, but let's too notice places that feel good, or maybe places that don't steal our attention all that much. Noticing all parts of ourselves. Moving down through the body, making your way to the toes, and then noticing the space next to your body, and the energy that your being is emanating into the room around you. Perhaps seeing a color, the color of your aura tonight. Taking time to notice your thoughts now. Noticing the patterns, the density. Maybe the energy that they hold. Again, no judgment, Imagine yourself in the center of those thoughts. Your thoughts are surrounding you. And then they float off in the breeze, one by one, emptying your room of thoughts. Finding some stillness in your mind. Knowing it's natural to find those little movements in your thoughts through practice. Just simply allow those thoughts to go. Loosen your grip. Sinking now toward your heart space. Noticing your emotions in this moment. Maybe there's one particular one that is jumping out at you, trying to grab your attention. Just notice. Allow it to be here as a part of you. And then from that heart space, begin to think of someone you love very deeply. And this person could be a partner, a parent, a child, a friend. It could in fact be yourself. Just imagine this person in front of you. Notice the little details that you love so much about them. Maybe the sound of their laughter. Perhaps the way their lips curve into a smile. Notice the color of their eyes. The softness behind them. The tender heart. Go ahead and dedicate our practice tonight to that person. As we fill up our cup, we allow it to overflow, nourishing those around us, especially those we love most. Having that sense of deep connection. Allowing yoga to be the path. To be that wire that connects us. Ourselves, our loved ones, our breath, our movement, the earth, the oceans, the sun, the moon, feeling connected. Beginning to feel your breath now, noticing the rhythm in the body. Inviting perhaps more depth as you inhale deeply, needing to find some length on your exhale, extending that breath. Feel your shoulders rise as your chest moves up, filling your lung space. Allow tension to release from your shoulders as you exhale. Finding a devotional practice tonight. With our intention being self-care, caring for ourselves, caring for others, using that breath, bringing it into the body. Releasing the air back out into the world. A full cycle. Light and dark. Inhale and exhale. Beginning to find that circular breath inside the body. Imagining as you breathe in, that breath is coming down along your spine. And then as you exhale, circling along the front of the chest, making its way out. Imagining this circle as you breathe. Around the body. Inhale along the back. Exhale along the front. 2 more. Bringing depth. Last one. Gently begin to open your eyes or leave them closed if that feels comfortable in this slower restorative practice. If you're seated cross-legged, we'll just pop the back leg towards the front. And then we'll gently take our chin down towards our chest and take our hands to our lower back, maybe even interlacing the fingers and gently beginning to open the chest and the collarbones. Just allowing the head to just hang a bit heavy along the front of your body. Releasing tension in your neck and shoulders. Continuing with that circular breath. Good, and then we might start to hinge forward at our hips and gently start to lift our hands off of our lower back, creating an even deeper opening in the chest, opening in the hips as well. One more breath. Good. Next inhale, we'll slowly roll ourselves up. Good. And then we'll go ahead and take our legs out nice and long towards the front of our mat. You can send the bolster pillows off to the side if you were sitting up on one. And then we will find our staff pose where our hip bones are planted into the mat. And keep a softness behind the back of the knees so that they're not pushed right into your mat space. And if you have a hard time doing that, you might even roll up a little blanket or any props that you might have. But we'll go ahead and find a nice tall spine here again, rooting down through the base of the spine, rolling those shoulders down and back. And then we'll exhale into a forward fold. So just walking the hands down to wherever they will come. Maybe you can reach your toes and maybe not, and that's okay. Just work with your body where it's at. Trying to keep a bit of length in through the back of the neck. Not wanting to necessarily hang the chin here just yet. Feeling some deep opening into our hamstrings, maybe even our lower back. And can you close down your eyes here? And return to that circular breath. Breathing in along the back, breathing out along the front. Just meeting ourselves at that first edge, that place before pain, or feeling some sensation, but we're able to breathe through it. And on your next inhale, let's see if we can hinge a little bit more forward and then start to drop our chin down towards our chest. Keeping those feet flexed. If you're not able to reach them, just reaching wherever you can. Continuing to breathe here, finding that circular rhythm. Softening into this posture. another 3 long, deep breaths, continuing to work your edge. Maybe you can soften more. And in your next inhale, we'll gently roll ourselves up, moving one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow. Good, and then reaching our hands up towards the sky, creating length in the back, maybe even taking your gaze up towards the sky, creating a lift in your heart space. Good, and then releasing your hands down to heart. Maybe bow your chin towards your chest. And then release your hands here. Let's move into half dragonfly pose. So go ahead and pull your right foot in towards your right groin as you slide the right leg open as far as you can to the right side. Again, make sure you're kind of rooted and grounded down in through your hip bones. You can use a pillow or bolster if you want, by placing it over the thigh or even right next to it, perpendicular to it, or parallel, I should say. And then we'll just start to turn our whole body towards that right foot, feeling that little bit of twist in that mid back. And then we'll slowly start to walk our hands down towards that foot. We might even be able to reach those toes. You might not, and that's okay. Just coming down as low as you can. Feeling a gentle opening along your left flank. Just finding your breath again. And breathing in that nourishing air. Sending it down to those tight places. Continue to soften. Can you sink more here? Maybe working your second edge. The last 2 long, deep breaths. next inhale, gently roll ourselves back up. And again, let's just reach those hands back up towards the sky. Chin lifts up. Big breath here. Good, and as you exhale, we'll drop our hands down and switch our legs. So left leg will reach out now. Right foot will pull in towards that groin. Again, find that nice tall spine here, rooting down through your seat bones. And then just simply turn your chest towards that left foot, keeping the foot flexed. And then with that tall spine, we'll slowly start to hinge ourselves and walk our hands towards that foot or wherever they come. And then simply allow your forehead to bow down towards your knee. Work that first edge as you encourage opening in the right lower back, right in the kidney area. Return to your breath. Notice if you've created space. Can you soften more? Go ahead and take 2 more long, deep breaths. And we'll slowly start to roll ourselves up. And once again, just take that stretch, reaching your hands up to the sky. Big inhale. Big release, dropping the hands. Good, and then send both the feet off to one side. We'll roll over into a tabletop position, bringing our wrists beneath our shoulders, aligning our knees beneath our hips. We'll just create a bit of movement in our spine here, moving through our cat-cow. So sinking our navel down as we inhale, dropping our shoulders, lifting our chin and tailbone. And then exhale, round the spine. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Move with your own breath. feel free to just make these movements your own. Add any intuitive little movements to it. Maybe a figure 8 in the body, sort of making it fluid. Really feeling into what your body needs for opening up that spine. The powerhouse of our body. The last few breath cycles. And then finding that neutral spine. We'll bring our big toes together. Knees can drop open to the wide edges of your mat. And we'll take our child's pose. Option to use your bolster here for more restorative practice. Or pillows. Place them, just sort of lining them up right at the top of the knees. And then finding length in your spine. We'll begin to walk our hands down, allowing our chest to come onto that bolster. And dropping your head facing one side or the other. For a more active child's pose, getting deeper maybe into that fascia, you might just simply reach your arms to the front of your mat. And allow your chest to sink in and down. And returning once again to that person you're devoting this practice to. Imagine them energizing a little more, filling up their cup as you fill up yours. Feeling that love and connection as you breathe here in this posture. Opening that heart to our Mother Earth. That common ground for all of us. Notice if maybe there's some tension in your neck. You might want to turn and look the other way. And bring your mind back to your breath. Following it in and out of the body. Go ahead and take 3 to 5 more long circular breaths. Really nourishing all the parts of yourself, even those dark places. Good. On your next inhale, gently pick that chest up off of our mat or bolster. Grounding our hands down into the mat. And shifting ourselves once again back into that tabletop position. Maybe even just rocking our hips gently from side to side. It's not too painful on your knees. Good. And we'll slowly walk our hands towards the front of our mat and our knees walk back, allowing ourselves to come down onto our bellies. We'll take a moment to find our Sphinx pose. So we'll prop those elbows up just beneath our shoulders. Hands can turn either towards the floor or mat, or they can come to prayer if you have tighter shoulders. So if this feels like too much of a back bend, you can always walk the hands a little bit further out and allow the chest to come a little closer to your mat. So in Sphinx, we should try and bring our big toes together and then allow the tops of our feet to just gently roll so that our heels are rolling out to the sides a little, so that our pinky toes are touching the ground or mat. So releasing a bit of work happening in our glutes. Find length through the back of the neck. And then notice if you have brought extra tension to your shoulders. Can you grow that neck just a little bit taller while softening your shoulders? Soften your gaze or close your eyes and find that circular breath. 2 more long, deep breaths. Good. On our next inhale, we're going to take our left hand and reach it out to the front of our mat, extending it out as far as we can. And then we'll slowly turn onto our left side, bringing it down towards our mat. And then you can bend your arm, if you like, using your hand to prop your head up. You can bend that right knee if you like, and either drop it onto your mat or just stack it on top of that left leg. And then we're going to bend that bottom leg, our left foot, bringing it up close towards our bum. And then see if we can reach with our right hand towards that left foot into a cattail position. So making that bind. If you can't reach it, that's okay. Just work with where you're at, bending that knee. Just continuing to pull the heel in towards your glute. And that right leg, there's lots of options. Just kind of work with where you're at. You can bring it out to in front of you. You can leave it bent, planted on the floor. The idea here is to create some opening along the front of the body, to open our left hip flexor, to even create a bit of opening in the right side of our chest. Once you've kind of found what works for you to get the greatest opening here, you can begin to settle in. You might even drop your head down onto your bicep. And close down your eyes. And just breathe through this first edge. Good, and just encouraging that knee to move further back behind you so that you can maybe deepen that latch onto your foot, maybe even moving it up towards the ankle, creating a deeper stretch in those tighter places. of these last 2 breaths, you might even start to turn that chest up towards the sky. Taking your gaze up, creating a little bit of a twist in the upper back. If that doesn't feel good, just take out the twist. Continue to work your edge. Next inhale, we'll gently release that bind and slowly roll back onto our bellies and go ahead and take it over to the other side. So right hand reaches out to the front as we roll onto our sides and then bending that elbow to help hold up our head. And again, that top leg can be bent, kind of just wherever feels right in the body. It can be out in front. We'll take our left hand and reach down for the right foot, making that bind if we can, or just simply bending that bottom knee and pushing it back as far as you can. So just sort of finding our first edge here in our cattail. Slowing down your breath. Maybe coming back to our intention. What it means to fully care for ourself. To devote ourselves to ourselves. To caring for ourselves. And to others. And then seeing maybe if you can make a deeper bind here. Moving your hand maybe even up towards your ankle. Or maybe now suddenly you can reach your toes. Just working your own body. Continuing to pull that heel towards your glute. Open that chest. For the last 2 breaths here, you might start to even turn that chest up towards the sky. Creating that deeper twist in your mid-back. Still feeling that opening along your right hip flexor. Breathe deeply. Nourish those tight places. And your next inhale will release that bind. Roll all the way over onto our bellies again. Aligning our hands beneath our shoulders. And we'll just gently roll up into Cobra here for a moment. Taking a deep back bend. And then just simply push back into a tabletop position. And again, we might just rock those hips from side to side. Good. And then we'll just simply roll over onto our back sides again, or rather, I guess, onto our bums. And we'll take our bolster or our pillows. We're gonna open up into a little bit of a deeper chest opener, heart opener. So using that pillow or bolster, we'll align it so that when we roll back onto it, that it's lining up sort of just below our shoulder blades. So once you have it across your mat, you can roll yourself down onto it. And a couple of things to do with your arms. You can reach them overhead. You can prop them behind the back of your head. Or you can actually just leave them on your bolster, sort of whatever works for your body and feels good for you. Should feel like a pretty deep opening along the front side of your chest. If it feels like too much, you can always just use maybe a rolled up blanket or something that's not quite so prominent, I guess, and creating a deep back bend. Once you've found what works for you, you can decide if you want your legs out nice and long, in full extension. Maybe you bring them cross-legged, or maybe even into like a lying butterfly pose. Find what works for you, and gently close down your eyes. Allow your belly button to sink towards the earth, releasing tension in your hips. Start to find those long, steady breaths. Taking about 3 or 4 more long, deep breaths here. Making any little adjustments you might need to find that next edge. Our next inhale, we'll gently bend our knees towards the sky, planting our feet into the mat. We'll pick up our hips just a little bit so that we can roll the knees to one side. And just gently remove that bolster from our back. And go ahead and pop it down underneath our knees here. So before we settle into that final resting pose, you might kind of reach around for any props that might help you be more comfortable, like a sweater or maybe even a blanket. But then we're going to reach our hands overhead once again, taking a full body stretch here, creating length through our fingertips and our toes. Finding that expansion in the body, stretching ourselves, creating that flexible band, if you will. Knowing that when we stretch and flex ourselves, we have a less tendency to break. Good, and then slowly bringing those hands back down, maybe next to our sides, maybe reaching them out into a T. And then preparing ourselves for that resting pose we call Shavasana. So maybe covering yourselves up with a blanket, maybe placing an eye pillow over your eyes. And then go ahead and just scan your body. Really just like you're tucking in your child to bed, taking note. Imagine just relaxing your body, preparing it for sleep. Even tucking those shoulder blades deeper under the back, creating an opening in the chest, allowing the hands to maybe fall open towards the sky. Just feeling grounded here in your mat space. Beginning to let go. you haven't already, just begin to close down your eyes. Notice that person you've devoted your practice to. Imagine them laying next to you. Feel that love and connection. And then return to that circular breath. Moving in and down along the back. Breathing out along the front. Total surrender here. Beginning to perhaps notice your breath again. Feel free to lay here longer, for as long as you need. Giving yourself permission to just turn my voice off. And coming back whenever you are ready. Just noticing our aura once again. The energy that surrounds our outer being. Noticing the color, the hue. Has it changed from the beginning of class, maybe? Is it the same? Perhaps beginning to bring some life into our physical body. Allowing the color of that aura to seep in through our fingers and toes. Perhaps giving them a little wiggle. Maybe even start to nod our head from side to side. Maybe begin to bend our knees, popping our feet up onto those pillows or bolster. Maybe just rocking them gently from side to side. And then wrapping our arms across our body, giving ourselves a big hug. Remembering always to love ourselves first. When you're ready, we'll drop over into a fetal position. So just rolling so that you can bring yourself down onto your side. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. Really just tapping into that feminine energy, that motherly energy. Where you sort of flow through life, trying to care for everyone else. Just thanking ourselves for making ourselves a priority. We use that feminine yin, darker energy to care for ourselves, to devote our practice to those we love, making ourselves accountable for self-care. When you're ready, with your eyes low or closed, we'll gently come back up to a seated position, cross-legged, or maybe legs out to the front. Finding a nice tall spine wherever you are. We'll drop our hands down onto our laps. We'll find 2 cleansing breaths here. So drawing in nice and deep through your nose. And gently parting your lips and sighing it out. Doing that one more time. Big inhale. And big exhale. Beautiful. Bring your hands up to prayer. Bowing your chins to your own heart. Just imagining that person again, your loved one. Really just imagine yourself nose to nose with them. See the reflection. See yourself in them and them in you. See yourself mold into one. Fully connected. Feeling rejuvenated. Like your well has been filled, and thus has theirs. I want to thank you for joining me in this slow restorative yin practice. As always, the light and dark in me sees and honors the light and dark in each of you. Namaste.